everybody, I'm Mrs. Oliver. I'm one of the band teachers at Clark Middle School and I play clarinet. I'm going to be talking to the level 3 clarinet students about some clarinet stuff. So some of the materials you're going to need are obviously your clarinet, several working reeds. It's important to have several reeds that you rotate so you don't have that favorite one that you use and then you don't know what to do when it breaks. To use a tuner, right? Metronome. I like to use the one on my phone because it's just super convenient. I always have my phone with me. Some of the optional materials that you're going to need is a neck strap. Okay, I like to use a neck strap. This is specifically a clarinet one because it has a little flap for the thumb rest. And a mirror. Sometimes it's important to look to see what our face or fingers are doing in a mirror. Okay, so a quick reed check. Always make sure that you have the right brand and the right size, right? So if we have a reed that's too soft, we're gonna squeak a lot. If we have a reed that's too hard, like the size is too big for you, then you're gonna have a hard time getting a good sound with that, okay? And since you guys are more advanced, I just want to go over quickly about when you put your reed on your mouthpiece, to just be careful to not put the ligature too low, that you have this space underneath the ligature, that you have the ligature that is placed underneath the line that some of the reeds have. I don't know if you could see that line. And all right. So we're gonna get started on our warm-up, okay? So our warm-up is just going to be with a tuner to be able to play a G as super simple, right? And the reason that we're using it is just so that way we can get a steady sound. I like to use the tuners that have the needles as well. I know it's kind of hard to see. And I just use it to get that needle steady. So when I am using it, I put my metronome on. I'm just going to put it at 80. And I'm going to play G. I'm going to put this over here so I can see it. We're just going to play G for 4 beats, for 8 beats, and then 12 beats. 1, 2, 3. So I like to do that as a quick warm-up just to see where I am on the tuner. You can do that on your B-flat scale in whole notes. You can just go from C to C, and just keeping your eye on that tuner to make sure that your sound is steady. So the next part that we're going to look at, and it's just like the clarinet study, and the first one is called register shifts, where we're going to play with the metronome and we're going to practice playing with a good sound and getting to the higher register without sounding squawky and being able to go with great ease, okay? So I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see it. I'll even put it in a file so if you guys would ever want to print it. And there's 2 parts to it, and there's several lines for each one, but today we're only going to do the register shift, and I will put it on the screen for you, okay? So the first one starts with a B flat, which is this first finger, C, B flat, and then we're going to add the register key, there's the jump, okay, to a high F, and then to a G. And it's all slurred except for tonguing the first note, and the whole point is to do it with the amount of very, very smoothly as possible. So let me demonstrate for you. So the point is that when you go from that low B flat to the F, that you don't jump up. So don't do this. You see just kind of came out of nowhere. So we're gonna do that with as much ease as you can, okay, as smooth as possible. The next one, you're just going up the scale. So you're going from B flat C, B flat F, G, A. So we're just adding notes to the end of the little shift at the end. So I'm gonna do the second line. The third line, we're gonna add a B flat at the end. So we're going B flat C, B flat F, G, A, B flat, okay? With as much ease as possible, and I would suggest that you try the exercise 2 times, one at a mezzo forte and one at a piano. So here it is in piano. Okay, so the biggest challenge is going to be from that jump, and you can see in that music from that low B flat to that F. Okay, so the only thing that's moving is this register key in the back. Here is register shift number 2. This one is in half notes, and you'll see in your music that it says fork. Okay, sometimes you'll see it marked with a K, and that means that you're going to be using this key right here, this little funny one, and it kind of does look like a tine of a fork, right? So when your first note is going to be B flat and then B natural. And so most of you have we flip like this, right? B flat to B natural. And that's a big no-no in the clarinet world. We're not flippers. We're not supposed to flip unless we have to, or slide unless we have to. We're luckily given keys on both pinkies so that we don't have to do that. Sometimes you do. It's very rare when you do. So the very first one, you're gonna go from B flat to B natural, and you use your third, your ring finger, to hit that little fork right there, okay? And then you're gonna go to B flat again, then to an F, then to an F sharp, which is going to be this one right here, okay? So we're gonna try that, and I'll play it along with you. So it's not an option to flip, right? That's why we're going to use the fork, and this is one of the exercises we're going to use that fork. So try to use it as much as you can to kind of build up strength in that ring finger, because it is probably one of the weaker fingers. Here's register shift number 2. So that is the example of that in a mezzo forte dynamic. Now I would pause the video and try it on your own, doing it mezzo forte and piano, okay? And that shift is going to be what you're going to focus on, that you don't just jump out and scare somebody with your sound, okay? Another one we're going to do are these slurred arpeggios. They have multiple lines to it. We're just going to do line 1 today, and it starts with the C, okay? So you do a whole note of a C, then you jump to a high G, so that's just adding the register key, and you do it the first time forte, and then the second time you do it piano, and then the third time you do it forte, and it's an arpeggio at the end. take the time to do that and try it on your own. Now we're going to do the scale study. And this scale study has several lines to it, but we're going to do 1 week. We're going to add a different line. This one goes from middle C to high C, back down, and then it does a D scale part of it. I'm going to play it for you. You can play along with me, or you can pause it and leave it on the image so that way you guys can practice that on your own. First scale study that we're going to do. We have a final scale study that starts with the low F and has B flats in it. Okay, so we're starting with this low F with pinky 2. So you can try that on both of those scale studies. I suggest that you start at 80 and try it 1 time if you can get it without any mistakes. And I suggest that you make the metronome, turn it up 10 clicks and go to 90 and go to 100. So that way that when you do change it, I'm going to change mine to 120. So that could be a goal, because in clarinet world, we have to have fast fingers, okay? That's part of our job. Your scale study at 120. Scale pattern 2 at 120. So every day that you're practicing it, start it at 80, move it to 90, 100, you get the idea. All right, guys, so that was just a couple of tips and tricks for you to try with your clarinet to just get you to have a beautiful sound, to get faster fingers, and to have a lot of fun, because clarinet playing is a lot of fun. So hopefully I will see you soon, and we will have some more fun together. Bye.